Hi everyone, welcome back to Grandpa Mark's Hobbies and build update number 3 of our Lindberg's Red Demon 1/8 scale kit. This bad boy is a monster. I think I could have built a full-size engine and got it running in the time it's taken me to put this thing together. And that's no kidding, along with the stripping of the chrome and all that stuff. But we're up and wired, and I'm about ready to switch from the engine to the frame and the body now. So I thought this would be a perfect time to bring you back. Let me pull this monster off the frame here, and we'll talk about it real quick and tell you what I did and how we got here. Right now the exhaust is just kind of pushed in, and I think I'm going to leave it pushed in like this and not glue it, because that gives a little bit of play up and down and it still stays tight in there. So we're good with that. The transmission is now glued on. The blower, everything's glued on now except for the exhaust. And I'm going to pull this side off because I want to show you a few things that I have done. There we go. Right off the rip, let me bring you in. Right off the rip, you can see that the wires are put in place. I made a couple of wire looms, a double and a quad, just to keep these things straight. I used 0.8 millimeter solder and kind of did the math, and it was pretty much exactly what Lindberg had for their plug wires. So I thought, why would I struggle with solid core wire when I could use the solder and bend it and manipulate it a lot easier and put it all exactly where I wanted it to go. The distributor, I painted the cap, the desert sand, or I'm sorry, dark yellow XF60. I added a vacuum advance to it. There wasn't one on there, so I just kind of made one out of sprue just to show it. Ran that vacuum line up and underneath the carbs where it would go anyhow. It might have gone into a place, but there was no place to add it, so I just brought it underneath the main carb manifold here and left it at that. Like I said, I did a double and a quad wire loom for both sides, and then I threaded all the carb wires through one at a time, starting from the front, and bent them, put them into place, and put a little dab of super glue in there to hold them, and just worked my way back so they were all sticking straight out on both sides. And then I started running them into the distributor and putting little dabs of glue. This is the first time I think I've ever glued into a distributor, but I still worked from the plugs back to the distributor instead of the distributor to the plugs. It's just easier for me to get everything to look right here this way and out of the way and tied in and all that than it would be to try to go around and into this way. So now that we're tilted over here, I'm sure you can see my generator and starter. I got threaded lugs on them. I have wire over here that's already flattened, split, and opened up that I'm going to put on here. And then I made, and they're hidden over here, little tiny nuts to go down on top of it to hold the wire in place. It's just going to all be glued, but it'll look like it. And that'll all get done right when I go to put everything up onto the firewall, because we're going to have our voltage regulator and all that. We're going to have our starter solenoid up here. So we needed the wires to go to it. The blower went together really nice. Everything worked out. The pulley system on here for the generator around to the water pump and everything, that belt was a rubber band that came with the kit. That's a 1965 rubber or 1964 rubber band. And what I did is I took my helping hands, these guys right here, and I kind of spread the rubber band out, and then I painted it with craft paint, so when it closed up and I pulled it around the pulley, it didn't have all the little cracks on it. I still have to come and put the white lines on both belts. This is like a stretchy nylon rubber belt, I guess it would be, for the blower. It came with the kit. It fit. It worked. It hasn't broke yet, so we're going to go ahead and run with it. Jim Pelosi, the guy that's been helping me with ideas and things like that, told me if I needed to, a belt, I could get a belt that works, printers, that moves the carriage back and forth on the printers, and they're even cogged. So if something goes wrong with this, I will get one of those, just because it'll be cogged and everything. But until something happens to this, I still like using the original stuff, just because it's so old and it's part of it. Let me back you out just a little bit here, and I'm going to tilt you over. You see, I took the bell covers off, and I put the snorkels on. I was just going for a little bit of height and a little bit of interest. I think that's going to stick up real proud from the with the window and everything out behind it, and it's going to look really cool. But these aren't glued on, so if I decide to go back, I can just pop them off, put the bells back on, and go from there. But right now, I'm happy because the plugs are done. This is a major move forward for this build. You can see the dipstick has been lengthened and put in. I don't know if you could tell, but I even put a little bit of smoke on the end of the dipstick to show the oil. I still have to paint the top part of it red. But it'll go in here just like that. Go all the way down and stop. So the dipstick is in and it's looking good. It's where it's supposed to be. Around this side, I made the Fram decal for this, and I was going to do a wrap all the way around it with these things, but when I sprayed them with the clear, I didn't put enough the Tester's clear on them, and it made these things almost impossible to get off of the paper and onto here. They were so thin and they were almost rubbery. So I got one on and I was like, you know what? We're good. That was after about 8 of them that I destroyed. So, but it's good to go. You can see the wires under here. The vent, I drilled out, and then I just kind of filled it with a little bit of black panel liner, just to show that it's drilled out. But this is a really cool engine. A lot of prep work went into this to get it to where we are right now. I'm liking this dull chrome, and I think it's going to look good. We're going to paint the body the titanium silver, and I think the two of those are going to really pop with the red engine and the red rims. The carburetor gave me no problems getting everything glued on and all that. The vent for the upper, I stripped and hit that with the chrome too. The alternator went onto my, remember I had to make the front engine mount and make sure that the alternator and everything fit, and it went on there exactly the way I hoped it would. Laid in there nice. I got the lugs pointing off to the side to where I can still get to them once I get this thing in place. And we're good to go. The oil pump's in with the little steel line that runs to the oil pan. So that's in. The filter's on. Everything's ready. This is done. I didn't mount the transmission yet, or the stick shift yet in the upper part of the transmission or the bell, because I have to feed the wires down through a little hole that I drilled in the back here, and then in through the bell, out the bell, and I'm going to run those up and in towards the dash up top here, and we'll get our power from that. So there's a better shot of how I ran that vacuum line going up too. But there's that. Hey, remember, I'm going to do a coffee cup giveaway. This isn't the coffee cup. It's a better one than this. It's got a bigger handle and everything. But when I hit 7,000 subscribers, we're going to do a coffee cup giveaway. So if you're not a subscriber yet, go ahead and subscribe. And then once we get there, I will do a giveaway. Let me move this out of the way. Those lugs that we did on the starter and on the generator are, I can pull you way in here. These things are flipping tiny. They're eyeglass screws. It's from an eyeglass repair kit. And what I did is I just drilled the hole partially through that was the same size as the screw. So that pushed right in there. And now I wish that I would have thought after or beforehand, I would have drilled 4 of these around the generator for the brushes and put them in this way, because they had the Phillips on them and everything, and it looked, this would have been perfect. But I thought of that after I already had it glued on, and a little day late and $1 short. But this is an Amazon eyeglass kit. It's got the different sizes in there. I'll be able to use this for a whole bunch of different things on top of fixing my dang eyeglasses. Now, I stripped the chrome off of the mufflers and painted them with the flat aluminum. I haven't done any panel lining yet or anything on them. I may do just a tiniest bit of rust on these, just because they would. I mean, it is what it is. But we'll see. That'll be down the road. The exhaust tips got stripped along with all the other exhaust parts. And with these, I drilled out the backs. A little nervous on that because it's so wide, and I wanted to go deep enough to where you could tell it was drilled out, and it looks like it goes all the way in. But I didn't want to blow out the sides, because there was been no way I would have been able to make that look good that way. But I like this chrome. This is that green stuff chrome, and it goes over gloss black, and it really doesn't go bright chrome, but I think it looks good, especially with what I'm doing here with this. So there's that. I did a test on my interior, and I found that my accent colors and my folk art colors will stick to this rubber like glue. So I'm thinking I'm going to use the black, the flat black, or real black. It's pretty much flat black on the floor pan, where I'll do the floor rubbers with that, and then I'm going to use cinnamon on the leather, on the seats and the side panels and stuff like that, with the titanium gold, or the titanium gold, jeepers, with the gunmetal. I think that'll be a good color. It'll just look good, I think. We'll have to see. And the nice thing is if I don't like this, I can always go black. You know, I can always darken it up and go from there. The last thing, this is going to be a real quick. I mean, I got a whole week easy worth of work on the behemoth, but it's you know, it's a car engine. The last thing I want to show you, though, and then I'll let you go, like I said, this will be a shorty, is I painted the LED for the stick shift, and now it's red, and that looks really cool. Again, the camera is kind of overpowering it, but that's a really neat color, red, and it's bright. I was afraid that when I painted it, I would lose that brightness, but it's not. It's very bright. So that'll work. This will fit right up through the floorboard, and I'm going to have it facing back. I was thinking about having it face forward, but I'm going to have it face back just to give some interest when you're looking at the car from this angle. You know, you'll be able to see that. The front, you'll see the back of the skull and everything, and you'll come around and go, oh, is that cool? So with that, I'm going to let you go on this short but huge update. Oh, look at how cool that looks on that short but huge update here. I'm hoping to get the body and the framework sprayed. And once I do that, I think this thing's going to start moving quick. The engine always does take the longest. But with that, I will let you go. You all have a great day and a better tomorrow. And thank you very much for watching.